Good morning, grade 11. Today, just first we'll revise what we have learned in previous class, and we have get into the next phylum, aschelminthes. Okay, we have learned about Phylum Porifera. Porifera means we can see pores in their body. That is the first characteristic. And common example is sponges. And here cellular level, asymmetrical body, and the remaining, and we can see the spicules in their body, and very important, the spicules are guarded by collar cells. So this collar cells only filter the food items with the water, and outer layer, inner layer, osculum, and about the central cavity. Okay, and these are the common structures regarding porifera. And next, Phylum Celientrata. Here Celientrata means tissue level started, and very important characteristic is nidoplast or tentacle. Now this tentacle is only helping for movement and also escape from the predators. Also it started to release some toxic substance, and this tentacle, it is the characteristic you can see in the Celientrata group. And nidocytes and nidoplast. Okay, nidocytes and nidoplast. It is a stinking capsule. Normally it is present in the tentacles. So that is very important character. So this is a nidocytes. No, this nidocytes will be present in the tentacles. Okay, nidocytes, they are stinking capsule which is present on the tentacles, and it started to release some toxic substance also. Is that clear? So nidocyte is the characteristic of Celientrata group, and we have learned about two morphological forms, polyp and medusa. Some group of Celientrata, some species of Celientrata always polyp, some always medusa, and only some species like Obelia, they will show both alternation of generation like polyp and medusa. Okay, and polyp produce medusa asexually, and medusa forms polyp sexually. Okay, this alternation of generation we have learned. And these are the common example: Physalia, sea fan, brine coral, sea anemone. And Phylum Ctenophora. Here we can see groups are exclusively marine and radial symmetry. Okay, CCE pattern. So Celientrata, Ctenophora and Echinodermata. These three groups comes under radially symmetrical diploplastic with tissue level organization, and characteristic is bioluminescence. Comb plates can be seen externally, and here also we can see the tentacles like structure with ciliated, and fertilization is external with indirect development, and reproduction takes place only by sexual means in Ctenophora group. These are the some important characteristics. So this diagram I have explained already, and we have learned about platyhelminthes. Platy means flatworms. Example, planaria. Hooks and suckers will be present, and we can see obligate parasite also, that is endoparasites, and we can see free living like planaria. And here sexes are not separate, hermaphrodite, both male and female will be seen inside a same organisms, and fertilization is internal. And example for that, Taenia solium tapeworm and fasciola, that is liver fluke. So I have explained the parts of the platform. Okay, so next we'll move on to our today's topic, aschelminthes. So till now we have learned about four group children: Porifera, Celientrata, Ctenophora and platyhelminthes. So these four groups are also acoelomate, PCCP. These four also acoelomate, and Porifera alone asymmetrical. Celientrata and Ctenophora are radially symmetrical, but platyhelminthes onwards Remaining groups and all, you can write it as a bilaterally symmetrical. Is that clear? So don't ever forget CCE. Okay, CCE alone radially symmetrical. Porifera is asymmetrical. Remaining groups, you can write it as a bilaterally symmetrical. Is that clear? And we have covered and diploplastic and triploplastic. Which and all diploplastic? Porifera is diploplastic or triploplastic? Porifera is a diploplastic group only. And Celientrata also a diploplastic. Ctenophora is diploplastic or triploplastic? Even Ctenophora is diploplastic. All are primitive organisms, so we cannot see the mesoderm layer. And platyhelminthes are diploplastic or triploplastic? Even platyhelminthes also a diploplastic or triploplastic. Now here organs are started, no? So you remember from platyhelminthes triploplastic. From platyhelminthes it is triploplastic. Don't forget, children. So P, C, C. These three alone comes under diploplastic and started with the platyhelminthes, aschelminthes, all those things comes under triploplastic. And I told you PCCP or acoelomate, only A, aschelminthes alone pseudocoelomate and the remaining groups and all coelomate groups. So according to that rule, aschelminthes comes under the center after PCCP. So aschelminthes is what? It is a pseudocoelomate. What do you mean by pseudocoelomate? Just like a coelom, but it is not a true coelom, false coelom. Okay, that's why we can call it as pseudocoelomate. Is that clear, children? So aschelminthes are triploplastic, pseudocoelomate. And here we cannot see a flat worm. So when we take a cross section, if it is a flat, we can call it as a flat worm. When we take a cross section of a worms, when it is a round in structure, so we can call the aschelminthes group as a round worm. Is that clear? So now let's get into the characteristic of aschelminthes. Aschelminthes is circular in cross section, hence the name round worms. Is that clear? So it is a free living also. All those things characteristic it will show. Free living, aquatic, terrestrial, parasitic. It will be in inside plants and inside animals also. They have an organ system level of body organization. Porifera cellular level, Celientrata tissue level, and starting from Ctenophora onwards we can see some organ level started. And platyhelminthes we can see the eye spot even organ level started, and aschelminthes organ level system of organization we can see. And it is a bilaterally symmetrical, triploplastic, pseudocoelomate. These three characters very important. So Porifera, Celientrata and Porifera, Celientrata and Ctenophora, these three are diploplastic. Remaining from platyhelminthes, aschelminthes, other groups and all, we can see triploplastic. And alimentary canal is complete. What do you mean by alimentary canal is complete? We can see both mouth and anus. So that's why we can call it as alimentary canal is complete with a well developed muscular pharynx. So now we are telling organ system was started means we can see some organs. Differentiation of organs can be seen in these kind of groups. So pharynx can be seen with the muscular well developed in the aschelminthes group. And here excretory tube removes body waste from the body cavity through the excretory pore. So here like a excretory system is just like a very tube, very thin tube. Through that excretory waste can be sent out through the pore, through the excretory pore. And here sexes are separate, means male we can see separate organisms, female separate organisms. They won't be inside one organisms. We have learned in platyhelminthes and other group Porifera and all, it is a hermaphrodite. Both male and female can be seen in only one organisms. But it is not in the case of forthcoming phylums, because these phylums and all, it is little bit advanced when compared to that of those Porifera and Celientrata group. So here male separately we can see, female separately we can see. So that is the case we can call it as dioecious. If it is a monoecious, Male and female can be seen in single organisms, that is monoecious. Dioecious means male and female can be seen different organisms, that is dioecious. Always males are smaller than the female. That pictures I will show you. So male and females are distinct. Often females are longer than the males. And fertilization is internal and development may be direct also, indirect also. Both the cases we can see in the aschelminthes group. So two characteristics you want to remember under aschelminthes: pseudocoelomate and organ system was little bit advanced. Muscular pharynx can be seen and dioecious, and here we can see both indirect and direct development. Okay, what are the common example? Like Ascaris lumbricoides, roundworm, that can be seen in our intestine as a parasite, and Wucheria, that is filarial worm. It will cause a disease called elephantiasis. Because of this worm, our leg become elephant-like structure. That is only Wucheria. And ankylostoma, that is hookworm. Okay, these are the common example for aschelminthes group. Now look at the structure. So this first two, no, first is the aschelminthes male, Ascaris male. Second is the female. As I told you, females are bigger than the male. And here we can see mouth also, anus also. Now here we can see in this region we can see mouth. In this region we can see anus. So this is anus. Is that clear, children? So mouth, anus. Wait a minute, it is not so, So mouth and tail, and we can see anus also. And here the gonophore is there, no? G-O-N-O-P-O-R-E. Gonophores only we can see the reproductive part. Gonophore only we can see the reproductive part. You don't want the anatomy of aschelminthes group, just to understand where the structures will be. For that only I have shown here. And these are the worm structure. Okay. Diphtheria larva. This is a larval stage, mites. And next we'll see the Annelida group. Okay, that I'll send in the next video. So these are the common example. This is the morphology. In your level, you just study morphology: mouth, anus, tail, gonophore. That is enough. You don't want the remaining detail. Thank you, children.